welcome to the first ever HPRshredder behind the scenes. This will be called Behind the Scenes 1 2024 Preview. At least that's what I think it's going to be called. I'm not sure if there'll be more of these or less of these, and I'm reasonably certain this will be a members only video, but let's go ahead and get into it. First things first, Happy New Year. I hope your holidays were good. So a lot has happened between the Dragon Quest II video coming out, the 3D World Runner video coming out, and Rygar, which I was hoping would be out in December, but alas, I couldn't get it out in time. There are a lot of reasons for this. The biggest one being that I did, in fact, have a child, and I have been learning how to adjust to that and adjust to going to work and taking care of the child and all of the things that kind of play into that. But it's time for me to start making content again. And so I'm starting off with this to test a few new things. One new thing is, you may not be able to tell, but this is an entirely new studio situation. I moved my studio from the second floor down to the first floor to make room for where we thought would be best for the baby. And so this is the first look at that. Another new addition is a hair light. I think hair lights look really professional. I'm still figuring it out, and so this is kind of a trial run for me. So you can let me know how you think it looks. Maybe it's too close, maybe I need to move it up a little bit, I don't know. But it probably allows for me to light my face a little more evenly, because usually I would have a panel kind of behind me and then a panel here. And that was to kind of act as a hair light and a fill light, and it didn't really work. And so what you were left with was oftentimes kind of a shadow on the center of my face. This is probably too much information for that sort of thing, but yeah, I have a script and it's got bullet points. And so I'm just gonna walk through my plans for 2024. Starting February and on, I really want to hit my one video a month target, specifically one Retro Odyssey video per month. I think that with roughly a week to a week and a half of playing the game and a week-ish or so for scripting and thinking about the game and what I want to say about it, and at the very end of that, the filming, because the product shots can happen at any time. I can film those at any point over those first 2 weeks. With roughly 2 weeks after that to edit, I think that's a realistic goal that if I really work hard, I might be able to achieve. And I wouldn't want to rush anything out that was low quality, but I think that part of the pressure I can put on myself can help me make better content overall. Like, I think when I'm really pushing, things can snowball, and that's what I'm going to try and do for the remainder of this year. So the first thing up is Rygar. I need to finish that video, and that leaves Ai Senshi Nicole, Getsu Fumaden, Yume Kojo, Doki Doki Panic, Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest, Salamander, Xanadu, and Mike Tyson's Punch-Out to round out season 3 of Retro Odyssey. If I don't hit one a month, at the very least, I want to be wrapped up with season 3 by the end of 2024. I have the games, I have everything I need. I just need to put in the work and find a way to be consistent. Now, there are other projects that I want to work on in addition to those. And the first one that should be coming up soon-ish and shouldn't interfere with the one a month goal I have is a Tears of the Kingdom video that I've been working on for a little bit. This one's a little weird because I feel like I'm maybe being a little bit critical or possibly even mean. And most of the content I make is generally a little more positive. I tend to find things to talk about that I like about games, but Tears of the Kingdom has a lot of red flags for me, and I think it might be fun to try sharing that sort of video. And I think this channel works and can work as a place for that. but it might be placed on another channel. I just have to figure out exactly what I want to do. Because another project is, there's a new channel that I am starting called Waiting for Nintendo. It's a play off of Waiting for Godot, and it's originally brainstormed by myself and Brendan of The Crawl, who is also a supporter. He coined the name as we were going back and forth through different naming ideas, and it was originally going to be a podcast, but we could just like not quite get it together yet. And I do believe that there's going to be room in the future for people to be on the channel in addition to myself. I'm still kind of playing with what I want it to be, and I still view it as a co-channel, like a co-op space for myself and other YouTubers and content creators alike that I've networked with, I guess, and have made connections with. The biggest one being The Crawl, and I'm hoping that we get to work on some stuff together. But Brendan, I know, no big deal if you're too busy or whatever. I'll figure it out. But in the future, if I want to make something that's kind of casual, a separate channel is best for that. And so Waiting for Nintendo, I'm envisioning currently, is more of a space to just talk about general Nintendo and video game related news and takes. Is there a lot of that? There certainly is, but I feel like it would be fun to kind of put my thoughts out there and see if, I don't know, I feel like I could maybe play the YouTube game a little bit over there, or at least give that a shot and see what it feels like. So yeah, that's a side project. Now, there are other videos that I really want to work on for this channel, and those plans include how to program the ultimate guide for absolute babies. For a long time, I've wanted to do a programming video. I probably shouldn't have started with that one. That one's more of like, I'm envisioning a 2025 project, but I think that a lot of programming tutorials are terrible, and they assume that the viewer has a lot of knowledge, pre-existing knowledge, and they typically don't, I think, at first when they're watching those videos. And I want to give it a go, seeing if I can kind of convey the fundamentals of programming, everything that I've learned and struggled through, to non-technical people. So that has been a long-term goal of mine, and I'm finally sharing it. That's something I want to work on. Another video that I would like to get out this year if possible is a more meta video that's about YouTube itself. And the title of it is going to be YouTube Won't Last Forever. I don't want to spoil anything that's going to go into it, but I just like, this is something that I wanted to work on for a long time. And like, I feel like even though it's not directly related to Retro Odyssey or anything like that, it is a passion project. And I think that my typical viewers will really appreciate what I have envisioned for that sort of a project, that sort of video. What am I even doing? Right? What am I doing? I've been wanting to make an Iwata video for a long time. And at first I was going to make a book review for Ask Iwata, which is the book that was released by Hobonichi, which is related to a toys company. And it's a collection of writings from Iwata and sort of like statements from friends, post his death, his passing. And that era of Nintendo, the Iwata manned Nintendo, it means a lot to me, but I don't really know what to do with that video. Like, it's something that I want to make, but it's kind of taken different shape in my head, like as the more I've thought about it, and I've moved away from thinking about it just being about the book and more just a video about Iwata. But then there's already excellent videos about Iwata, and so like, I'm not sure what I want to do, but it's like a lot of ideas I'll write down and they'll go by, time will pass and I don't touch them, and I'm like, you know what, I don't want to do that. But this one just sticks around, and so eventually you may see an Iwata video on the channel. And then probably the most important video that I want to work on this year is a video titled Does Zelda Still Need Saving? And this is going to be kind of an analysis of the series as a whole, and it's going to be looking back on one of my favorite video game essays ever written, titled Saving Zelda by Tevis Thompson. And like the journey that I went on personally with getting into Zelda games and video games, and then reading this article and kind of almost being offended by it, and then time passing and me learning more about games and game design and playing through more of the Zelda games myself and confronting my own biases and kind of like where that leaves me feeling now, just in revisiting that. That's a video I think is going to be a lot of fun. And then other than that, the game dev stuff, because season 4 and beyond is my next bullet point. Real quick, so an exclusive look at what games are coming in season 4, because season 3, it's already been announced, but season 4, things start to get real spicy. Rockman or Mega Man, Final Fantasy, Metal Gear, Guardian Legend, Contra, Dragon Quest III, RC Pro-Am, Battle of Olympus, Double Dragon, and then lastly, I have to look up the spelling on this one, Bio Miracle Bokuta Upa. It was originally going to be Demon Sword, but I cut Demon Sword because I just looked at the game and I just didn't feel like playing it, you know? With the amount of effort that it takes to make these videos, like this list of games I made to play, it's over 150 games long. And I think as time goes on, I'm gonna start cutting more and more of the games that just kind of maybe don't feel worth the significant investment and time like of my life towards. I'm still gonna play a lot of like quirky oddball type stuff because I really enjoy it. I still loved the 3D World Runner video and I loved making it despite it being a less popular game and one of my least successful projects like in this season 2 and 3 era of Retro Odyssey. But Demon Sword just looked bad. Maybe I need to adjust my formula. Maybe for games that are like that, I just don't go all out and I have to find a way to let myself be okay with releasing a video that's just kind of basic. But it's so tough. Like if you watch the 3D World Runner video, the editing has just gotten so out of control and I just can't help myself. The more that I learn how to do, the more I want to do with every video. And when it starts like looking good, that hypes me up and it makes me want to do more to it. So I think in the future, I might cover the list and how I came up with the list of games. Maybe I'll share the full list. Maybe that's not fun though. Maybe you don't want to see the full list. Another thing I need to learn how to do is how to incorporate other systems, because Retro Odyssey was never meant to be just a Famicom series. I thought that I would be done with the Famicom by now in my original estimation, because I thought I was going to be posting a video a week. I thought I was going to be covering 52 games a year. And here I am on like roughly the 3rd year of my channel or closing in on it. And that is not what has happened. I have not even covered a full 52 games since starting, so not looking good, but probably looking better than what I had originally envisioned. I guess a few more things before wrapping up. I had considered making a Discord, but I think that the effort of moderating and monitoring a Discord may not be worth it. I don't spend too much time on Discord, and I'm not sure I want to spend more time on Discord. I kind of have like enough going on, because if I did a Discord, it would probably be one channel, general, and I would not want to moderate it. And I don't know, man. It just seems like I'm not sure if it's worth it. But if that is something you're interested in, I guess let me know. And I am considering. I wouldn't have brought it up if I wasn't considering it. But one more thank you to you guys. I feel truly, truly blessed because people do watch my videos now. For the longest time, people really didn't. And a lot of you have been here from the beginning. Some of you haven't. But like, I really appreciate it. And I'm sorry that I have not been as punctual as I intended to be. I mean, you've seen the 5-month gaps in videos before. I really don't want to let that happen ever again. And so I'm gonna hit the ground running pretty hard, I think. Anyway, thanks for watching. Peace.